YouTube, what is going on, Lakers family? In today's video, we're going to be talking about a trade for the Los Angeles Lakers. And you guys are probably thinking it's too early for the Los Angeles Lakers to make a trade, and the season just started. But guys, I thought this would be an interesting topic to talk about since I'm recording this video. But anyways, guys, before I get into the video, guys, I'd really appreciate if you could drop a like, smash the subscribe button so you guys get notified whenever I drop a video. I'd really appreciate that a lot. Now, so this morning, James Piercy, the author of NBA Analysis Network today, did propose a bold trade for the Lakers to acquire point guard Rozier from the Charlotte Hornets, and the Hornets receive Rui Hachimura, Cam Reddish, and a 2029 first-round pick. I believe it will be top 5 protected from the Los Angeles Lakers, which is very interesting. Now, James Piercy said on NBA Analysis Network, some NBA stars shine so bright that they can't be denied. There's no question as to whether a team should build around them. The question is, how do they do that? How do they fit? What's the best way to build around a player, whether that's a superstar, whatever the case may be, right? You get what I'm trying to say? For a long time, LeBron James of the Los Angeles Lakers has been carrying this team, and he's been the standard, and he's pretty much been the guy for the Los Angeles Lakers, putting them in a situation where they can compete for an NBA championship. Of course, the Lakers came out short of going to the NBA Finals, but they got smoked, got swept in 4 games in the Western Conference Finals of last season against the Denver Nuggets. But continue on. If a player on James' roster doesn't fit with them, for example, like Russell Westbrook, you trade that player, and that's what the Lakers did. James is a priority. That's how talented he is. James is one of the best players in NBA history. Traditionally, he strived alongside shot-creating guards. James can handle the bulk of the playmaking. For what reason? He's had a lot of success alongside alpha scorers, 3-level scorers, guys that can create their own shot, and etc. So as it stands for the Los Angeles Lakers, they don't have that type of player on their roster, so that's the reason why they'll be making this trade proposal. So it says LaMelo Ball of the Charlotte Hornets is one of those stars too. At least he looked like one throughout most of his NBA career so far. He was injured a lot last season. I believe he got injured like 3 times already, and he missed some games too for the Charlotte Hornets. So the Charlotte Hornets seem well aware of that and that fact, but in the 2023 NBA draft, they used their second overall pick to select a player who would complement him, and that was a controversial decision by the organization. Most analysts had Scoot Henderson at number 2 on the big board, but he wound up getting drafted by the Portland Trailblazers. And Charlotte Hornets select Brandon Miller as their second overall pick. He played for Alabama, and I know Hornets fans weren't very happy about that, but they didn't want to put another ball handler or at least ball-dominant guard alongside LaMelo Ball, so they wanted to fit. So that was the decision by the front office and the organization to make that move in the draft. So it's been interesting. Brandon Miller has been fantastic through the season. I know it's only like 5 or 6 games into the season, but he's been playing well through his debut for the Charlotte Hornets. By contrast, Scoot Henderson has struggled for the Portland Trailblazers. He hasn't been playing well. Unfortunately, the Charlotte Hornets, LaMelo Ball hasn't played like someone you make concessions for. He hasn't really played too much well, but would moving Rozier help him elevate his game to its prior levels? Maybe, not sure, but perhaps in all likelihood, LaMelo Ball is simply dealing with rust. He was injured last year, and in all likelihood, he's rounding back into his form, so hopefully he gets into the same form that he used to be. But LaMelo Ball's body of work is too promising for the Charlotte Hornets fans to be hitting the panic button. On the other hand, this team's performance has been concerning in the 2023-24 season. They just handed the Houston Rockets their first win of the NBA season. If this continues, maybe the Charlotte Hornets may want to consider turning their attention to the future. For the Charlotte Hornets, the beginning of the season, they're 14th in the Eastern Conference, and they have a record of 1-3, so they're struggling. Maybe they can make a trade, and Rui Hachimura can compete with each 4 rotation minutes, and the Charlotte Hornets can trade whatever one they are comfortable parting with. This is about adding assets, Maybe should the Los Angeles Lakers part with assets for Rozier? We'll see. And why the Los Angeles Lakers do this deal is because the Los Angeles Lakers had a fine season so far. I wouldn't want to say perfect, but they're starting off with a positive record. Like I mentioned, 3-2, fifth in the Western Conference. Because last season we started the season 2-10, and we had like a 0.2% chance of even making it to like the playoffs. And we exceeded expectations. Rob Pelinka made a trade in the midseason, and that got us all the way to the Western Conference Finals. Even though we got swept, the Lakers brought back most of the guys from last season, added some players, some talent this offseason free agency, which is very interesting. Now, meanwhile, DeAndre Russell has been solid for the Los Angeles Lakers, but he's not a consistent half court creator. So maybe the Lakers want to add someone who's very consistent. And DeAndre Russell, he was very good. He was the MVP of preseason, but preseason is not the same as regular season. The competition is a lot better in regular season, and you're seeing more of your rotation players play more minutes in the regular season than it is preseason. And DeAndre Russell, he did have some up and downs for the Los Angeles Lakers, but like the last two games, he's been playing well for the Los Angeles Lakers. I believe the last game he had 28 points for the Los Angeles Lakers, hitting his shots. And I would say he's not the greatest defender, but there is moments where he was playing some solid defense. And to be honest, against the Sacramento Kings, when the Lakers lost in overtime, he was getting cooked by De'Aaron Fox. So does that mean the Los Angeles Lakers should replace DeAndre Russell? Maybe, but I'm not sure about that. DeAndre Russell, first of all, cannot be traded like closer to the NBA trade deadline or at least December 15th because he's not eligible. The Lakers just signed him to a new contract. He was a free agent this offseason, and they decided to bring him back. Now, DeAndre Russell is a dynamic playmaker. He's a very good playmaker and scorer, but he's very inconsistent, and someone has to elevate LeBron James' load on that end of the floor. The Lakers don't need to replace. They simply need to add. This team needs to add a guard who can create his own shot when the offense breaks down. If that player spaces the floor for team's playmakers, that would be a bonus. We just described Rozier's perfectly. The Lakers can spare Rui Hachimura even before a recent injury. He was minimal part of the team's rotation. Sending him to the Hornets in exchange for Rozier will make them much stronger a team. After all, he's a player that complements LeBron James. Rui Hachimura complements LeBron James very well, but like the last two games, Rui Hachimura's missed games because due to like an eye contusion, and I believe he's going to be out tonight against Orlando Magic as the Lakers are in Florida, and they'll be playing around 4 p.m. So that's very interesting. The Lakers are already dealing with injuries. You got your player in Gabe Vincent, who's going to be out at least 2 weeks due to an injury, and you got Jared Vanderbilt, who's our key piece, our best perimeter defender on this team. So the Lakers are very deep. I mean, the Lakers beat the Los Angeles Clippers. They snapped an 11-game losing streak finally, and there was a point they were down by like at least 19 points in the first quarter. The Lakers turned around at least in the third quarter, adding at least three big man lineups of Jackson Hayes, Chris Short, and Anthony Davis, and that turned us around. And Cam Reddish was playing really good defense, getting outside in transition, just getting buckets and playing some really good defense. Now, the Charlotte Hornets, they're not playing the greatest basketball, and I would say they made some really horrible decisions. I honestly feel like Scoot Henderson would have been better for the Charlotte Hornets, but I get it, the fit-wise, but I feel like a lot of teams make a mistake when it comes to fit instead of just best player available. But like I said, Scoot Henderson is struggling. I know the season's still early. You got 82 games in the season, while you got your player in Brandon Miller, who's been balling out for the Charlotte Hornets. Now, I would say Rozier is a bucket. He's 6'1". This is his fifth year with the Charlotte Hornets after playing 4 seasons with the Boston Celtics. He's still young. He's 29 years of age. He's a veteran, and he's a hooper. So far, in 4 games for the Charlotte Hornets, he's averaging a stat line of 22 points per game, which is very good. Shooting very efficient from the field, which is about 46.1% from the field. 3.5 rebounds, 5.5 assists, 0.3 blocks, 0.8 steals, and shooting terrible from the three-point line, which is about 19.2% from the three-point line. You know, he's actually a good three-point shooter, but hopefully that'll go up. It's still early into the season, and there's been a lot of guys starting with the season struggling. So hopefully the three-point percentage will go up. But for right now, that's his three-point percentage. And he's taking around 6.5 attempts per game from the 3-point line, which he's shooting a lot, shooting okay from the free throw line. I wouldn't say it's the greatest, but it's not awful. He's shooting around 76.5% from the free throw line. 4 games for the Charlotte Hornets, playing close to 37 minutes a night for the Charlotte Hornets. So, Lakers fans, you guys let me know in the comment section, what do you guys think of the trade proposal? Would you guys want to trade Rui Hachimura and Cam Reddish and a top 5 protected pick for Terry Rozier? In my personal opinion, I think it's very interesting, but Terry Rozier is a 6'1" guard, and I think the Los Angeles Lakers need a bucket, a scorer, a hooper who could just play consistent. In my personal opinion, I feel like the Lakers need another star alongside LeBron James because he's in year 21, and I'm just tired of him continuing to carry this team and having to rely on him and play more minutes, put more pressure on his body because, father time is starting to kick in. And you got Anthony Davis, who sometimes just doesn't show up. He have one good game, one bad game. Next game, he'll show up, and then the second half, he'll disappear. So we cannot rely on Anthony Davis to take the keys and continue to lead this team. But I'll say the last 2 or 3 games or 4 games or whatever you want to say, he's been balling. He's been balling out. The first game for the Los Angeles Lakers, opening night in Denver in the Mile High, he played well in the first half, but in the second half, he completely disappeared and had 0 points. So that's unacceptable. And Terry Rozier is a guy that would help the Los Angeles Lakers, and he would complement the Lakers so well because of the floor spacing. But I appreciate the support. Make sure you guys drop a like, smash the subscribe button, and I'm out of here. Peace.